Hello there folks, my name is Great Mighty Poe, and welcome to the first episode of my Cinders version 2.09 walkthrough. Been wanting to do this for a while, kinda lacked a microphone, so doing a walkthrough would have been a bit difficult, so now I can do it. Technically I am a dev, though I don't really consider myself one. I consider myself more just a contributor. I do mostly VFX and I've done a few minor bug fixes, so hopefully I'll have some idea what I'm talking about. But I'll shut up now and I'll let the intro cutscene play and we'll get to character creation.
Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones. When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, saint of the deep, Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers. And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yon the giant. Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
So just going to get a couple extra things done before I go into the classes. Right, let's go into the classes. So, as you can see, Cinders adds quite a few classes. There is an absolute shit ton of them, so choosing what you want to pick can be a bit difficult. So, starting from the top, you have Deprived. Pretty much you're just bog standard, want to use anything you can class. Doesn't really excel at anything, nor does it really suffer anything. One thing to note in Cinders is that there are infinite respecs available at Rosaria, provided you have Pale Tongues, which are pretty easy to get, so don't need to worry about wasting points. There's Knight. It's the Knight. Pretty much the same as Vanilla, I'm fairly sure. Thief. Starts with a bow. so you get a bit of extra range, pretty good dex build. Sentinel, probably one of the best classes for melee, as it has pretty low magic stats and low luck as well, so you just want to go pure strength or pure dex or just both, it's a pretty good class for melee. Mercenary is your bog standard dex class. Sellsword Twin Blades is normal, nothing really special. Wayfarer, you want to cosplay as Elva, here you go. Start with Curved Greatsword, high dex, pretty fun class. Assassin, first int class. This is a int dex hybrid, so want to run around be a sneaky thief, run around be a sneaky assassin, you can do that. Samurai, you want to be a weeb, you can. First class that I'm mentioning that has a unique moveset for the starter weapon. It's being the Uchi Katana, and it has a really cool moveset, so really good pick. Warrior, standard strength build, nothing all that special. Bandit, standard strength build again, but you get great axe this time, so just want to smash people over the head with a giant axe, you can do that. Soldier, quality build, bit less armor than the knight, but it does have a crossbow, so you have a bit of extra range with this one. Acolyte, pretty strong class. Doesn't look like much with those rags, but the weapon itself is pretty damn strong, and has a pretty cool weapon art, so pretty strong class. Herald, Dex Faith, pretty standard, has force knock enemies away, give yourself some space, but apart from that, pretty standard. Captain, another quality build, more focused on strength though, so if you want to be more of a quality build, focus on strength, this is a good one rather than the knight, so good option. Peasant, first of the luck builds. Luck is a pretty strong stat in Cinders, pretty much being the jack of all trades, so you don't really want to commit to anything and just do everything. Luck is pretty good for that. Same with Explorer, starting with a whip though. Whips are actually a lot better than they were in vanilla, being 20% faster in Cinders, so you can literally stun lock enemies with the R2s. It's actually kind of broken. Brawler, another class that starts with custom movesets on the two weapons it starts with, those being the Cinders and the Claws. Also has the horse hoofering for easy kicks, so pretty fun class. Hunter, difficult bow class, nothing all that special. You want to use a bow? Good class for it. Sorcerer, shoot magic, pew pew. Starts with Farron Dart and Farron Flash Sword, so your basics will definitely help you get started. Pyromancer, starts with Fireball and Flame Fan, so you have a little bit of an extra melee option there. Pretty strong class. Cleric versus the Miracle builds. You have Way of White Corona, and I think that's just basic heal aid, or it might be heal, not 100% sure on that, but pretty good class if you want some healing. Priest, Lightning Arrow and Force, so slightly more offensive than the Cleric. Definitely a fun one, quite a big fan of Lightning Arrow, so fun class. Heretic versus the Hex builds. I'm focusing more on Dark Sorceries, so you have Deep Barb and Dark Edge. Dark Edge not being the same as it was in vanilla, that's now Abyssal Edge. Dark Edge is a recolored Farron Flash Sword that looks pretty damn cool. Might be a bit biased because I made that colouring myself. Outcast is a focused on Dark Pyromancy, so you got Fireball and Blackfire Scatter. Definitely pretty strong. Skeptic focused on Dark Miracles has Nibble and Dead Again. Dead Again being one of the worst spells in Cinders, and it hasn't really changed from vanilla, which is why it's so bad. Paladin. Yeah, it's Paladin. It's Strength, Faith, Vitality, pretty stacked character build. Definitely won't go wrong if you pick this one. Jester seems to be the one most people pick. Let's just look at him. Looks like most interesting. He is the Luck Caster. So he starts with Pyromancy Flame, but you'll obviously be upgrading that to the Fool's Flame if you go this. And he also starts with Fecal Expulsion, where you literally spew shit from your mouth. So have fun with that. Summoner. There are companions in the Cinders mod that you can summon at any time, provided you have the tome for it. They pretty much just kill stuff for you. So this is one of the easier classes if you don't want to be in melee combat too much. So good choice. And then going from what is probably the easiest class to probably the toughest is Accursed. Where if you want to suffer, you have a class with 0 in every single stat. So, yeah, have fun with that. If you're a masochist, you'll love this class. For me, I'm just going to go Deprived, because I want to try out different things. So, go with that. On to the gifts. Master Key. Played DS1, you know what the Master Key is. Opens any door. No restrictions, nothing like that, just opens any door. Young White Branch, just transform into stuff in the environment. Not really all that useful for PvE, but there is an option. Soul of Crestfall Knight, 10k souls, pretty simple. Black Firebombs, wants a mixture of damage at the start. They do good. The first boss is pretty weak to fire, so always a good choice. If you played DS2, you know what Life Gems are, so just another healing option. Old Radiance is probably pretty sure one of the stronger ones, so get some pretty good healing here, but not something I'd pick, just simply because I find them a bit too strong. Rouge Water gives you a little bit of FP back, so good for caster builds, but not so much for melee builds, because the FP regen tends to make it so you can spam weapon arts all day anyway, so. And then Throwing Knives. Well, Spellbound Throwing Knives. These Spellbound items, they pretty much work like how well, pretty much you get charges by killing stuff, and then you can use them. And then using them expends those charges. So they're good for mobbing, not so great if you're dying lots of times against a boss. So, they're pretty strong though, so always an option. I'm just going to stick with the Soul of a Crestfallen Knight. Let's get started. Alright, so first of all we're just going to go over our equipment. So we've got standard club and a plank shield, and then for armor we just have a loincloth, but fun fact about armor and Cinders, it has effects. In this case we're getting 2 dexterity, which isn't much help right now, but it will be in the future. So now it's going to go forward, and you should read this message because a lot of people don't and they get really confused. It says speak to the petrified giant, which is conveniently glowing. If you don't speak to the tree, then you're going to be meted by this fog wall, and you can't get through it, and you can't progress, and you'll just be very sad. So, speak to the tree. And so we get to the first big part of Cinders, is journey configuration, where you can configure how you want your journey to be. So, standard mode, doesn't change anything. You can reinforce, and that's pretty much what it means. Used to be that you couldn't reinforce at all, standard mode just means you can reinforce. Not as strong as vanilla, but you can still have that if you want to have that attachment to a particular weapon. Explorer mode, easy mode, but you can't get challenge run rewards and you can't affix your accessories, which is just ring upgrades, so yeah, that's easy mode. Wanderer mode, you can't reinforce your weapons, but bosses give you a small damage boost when you kill them. For the first time at least. So that means that all your damage, not just a single weapon, is going to be affected. So it's definitely what I find to be most fun, and it's one I'm going to use, but we'll continue with the other ones to see what they are. So next we have Mythic mode. Mythic mode is hard mode. You can't reinforce, don't get damage boosts, everything hits harder, and there's more enemies in the world because a certain curse is active, and we'll get to curses a bit later. And then finally is Gauntlet mode, which is boss rush. If you don't care about exploring the world or anything like that, just want to fight bosses, there you go, boss rush. So, I'm going to go Wanderer mode, I'm going to enable that. Now another option here is starting location. So there are a few of them. This just allows you to choose where you want to start. You'll still have access to Firelink, don't worry, but you can have a random place unlocked or a fixed place unlocked. So, you want to go, say, the Ring City and grab something from there early on, you can. But I'm just going to stick to normal starting location. Another option here is skip journey. This allows you to skip to the next new game cycle. So if you want to start a new game +7 or something crazy, you can do that as well. So we're just going to begin the journey. Going to make sure that we're sure of that. And now the fog wall should dissipate. And get rid of the plank shield, because shields are bad. I didn't get hit by the first enemy, that's a good start. Got first 3 things over here actually. 2 chests. One on the left. Just standard east west shield, vanilla item. And here though we get our first Cinders item, Censoring Palm. It's a pretty cool weapon. It allows you to move 20% faster, and it has a pretty good moveset. So let's just take a look at that quickly. You can two-hand it, get L1s. Now that open palm, that is custom animation work done by, well, he's just known as the guy, because he doesn't like to reveal his information, because he'd be swamped by people wanting custom animation work. So, he's a very cool guy though, does very cool work. Done a couple other things that you'll see as well later on in the mod. And then the next thing we can do is read this message. It says gesticulate. That just means to do a gesture. And in this case, just point up. That takes you to the Cave of the Gods, which is really just up here. And if you're wondering what's behind that fog wall, it is literally nothing. That's the only reason why the fog wall's there, is to hide the fact there's literally nothing there. And in this chest, we get another new Cinders weapon, the Hands of God. These are a pretty powerful faith weapon, fist weapons again, and they emit force with charged attacks, so pretty strong. Just take a look at them. Once again, equip both hands. Pretty cool weapons. Can't use them though, so take a Censoring Palm. One thing about coming up here is that you will respawn the enemy that you just killed, so don't run face first into him and end up getting shot in the face. Which I didn't, thankfully. Yay. And I get a Fading Soul from the trouble. Nice. Now we're going to head over here, and we're going to take on our very first boss. This boss, Iudex Gundyr, he is pretty strong for an early game boss. He is totally optional though, so you can skip him, and just be warned that some of his attacks do curse, so you have to watch out for that as well. Don't get cursed or you will just straight up die. There are 2 types of curses. One's from characters tend to just insta-kill you, one's from NPCs tend to just debuff you. Let's hope I don't die against them. There you can see the curse wave and the curse build up. Dodge behind him during that attack, you can avoid the curse waves. As you can see from the explosions going off, he starts having those show up when he gets weaker and weaker. So watch out for them, they will one-shot you if you are deprived. And that should be the fight. You can see the explosions going absolutely crazy. Oh. Hey, somehow survived that. Didn't get hit. Nice. So that's first boss down. Got a thing for him, you get a 0.25% increase to damage for Wanderer mode. So, nothing major, but hey, it's something. We'll continue working our way forward and we'll head over to Firelink eventually. Switch over to Speedy Hands. Speedy Hands are always fun. Fun fact about this guy, I'm fairly sure he just never attacks. Stand here all you want and he won't attack you. Punch his shield, he won't do anything. No, not gonna do anything. You do anything? No? Yeah, that's what you get. See, pretty decent weapon, the censoring palm. Pretty fun too. Got some base stuff there. One thing you notice from all corpse drops is they will have some kind of consumable soul and then some kind of something else that can help you. So in that case we've got green blossoms and a fading soul. Ooh. There goes the no-hit run. And there's first death. Knew it had to be to gravity. I always mess up that roll. Always. Every run I'm going to die to that. At least once. But we have censoring palm, so getting back to where we were is going to be pretty speedy. Watch out for the arrows flying at you. A lot of crossbowmen in this area. Let's see if I can get a kick off. There we go. Yeah, so you see we get a pretty cool kick even using fist weapons. Claw weapons have another really cool one. Some other weapons have some unique kicks, so always test out the kicks. You never know what you're going to get. And I think there's an enemy down here. Nope. Yeah, that's what you get. And there we got some life gems. So, yeah, life gems are in. I don't really like using them all that much, but 300 HP over 30 seconds. So, running out of Estus, always other healing options. And I've attracted a lot of attention. Whoops. There we go. Took a little bit of damage, not too bad. So, we'll just use a life gem because I don't want to use Estus because there is a tough fight coming up. Not this guy though. This guy is the Marauder. And he's very greedy. Yeah, he's not going to fight you unless you prove your worth. And in that case, you have to give him 100,000 souls. Which, if you die to him, you don't get those back. So, it's a very tough fight, very end game. Something you shouldn't take on lightly. Now over here, we have an item we can't get to. Or can we? See some glistening over here. And if you've played DS1, you should know of the Crystal Caves. Yeah, we've got an invisible pathway here. Do be careful, it can be a bit finicky on letting you out. There we go. And that gets us over here. We have to go a bit further, and it gets us the Bewitched Alon Sword. So, very neat. Yeah, standing on nothing. Always very terrifying. So, Bewitched Alon Sword is a very cool weapon. Takes 40 dex. I can't use it. But one thing you should know is it has very strong attacks with the weapon art. And it has a green flame buff, so it looks very cool when you've got the weapon art active. So definitely something to keep an eye out of. Oh, and also I didn't mention the torch. You should try infusing this thing. Might get some unique looks out of it. So, over there we have our first NPC who's going to try and kill us, and that's Swordmaster. Now, I mentioned that the Uchi has a unique moveset when I went over the Samurai class. He has the Uchi, so he has custom moveset. So Swordmaster is even more of a dick now. So first of all, you want to go take out this guy, otherwise he will get in the way. Yeah, get out of the way. And there we get some Radiant Life Gems. So Radiant Life Gems are just 600 HP. So just straight up a double of the normal life gem. Also, I did mention these can stack, so you can get pretty insane regen. So let's give Swordmaster a go. Isn't gonna go well. Yeah, he dodged. Yep. Told you it wouldn't go well. Swordmaster is pretty damn tough, like most NPCs in Cinders early on are. But once you get some better weapons, he's much easier. Once again, Smooth Ring Palm comes in handy for just running through areas that you don't want to fight anything in. Yep. Oh, those crossbow bolts always get me. Take him out again, and try the Swordmaster again. Maybe this time, buff a bit further away so he doesn't notice us. Try and get a bit closer and get in there, fool. No! He wasn't having that. So I might actually leave him, go get a bit of weapon, come back, kill him then. Because, yeah, he's pretty tough. Then again, I'm pretty stubborn, so I'm probably going to keep at it until I kill him, so might bloat the length of the video by a bit, but oh well. Marauder, you wanna come help me? He clearly seems like a guy who could take you on. No? Okay then. There we go. Yeah, very scary. So, fun fact, he can't come in here because of the boss arena, so you can just run in and out and cheese him this way. Well, I say that, and then he stun locks me. See, the real first boss isn't Gundyr, it's Swordmaster as normal. Those arrows fly really far. Marauder, you sure you don't want to fight him? He's clearly kicking my ass. He'd definitely kick yours. No? Okay then. Oh, he's seen me. Oh, got an instability frame hit on him, so. Yeah, he also tries to heal, even though he has no Estus. So he's a little bit funky, this guy, but... Nearly did. Come on, over here. Worth it. And now, because I really don't want to die, I'm just going to pop a life gem. But from him, we get the rest of the Master's set, and the Uchi Katana, which we can two-hand and use, so that's very nice. And the rest of the Master's set. Each piece of this gives us 2 decks, by the way, so we're at 18 decks now. So, Uchi Katana, very strong weapon, very cool moveset. And one of my favourite running attacks. Yeah, very strong. Over here we have something pretty useful as well for early game. The Estus ring. So, better Estus healing, can't go wrong. Rusted coins, another fading soul, item discovery. Can be useful for caster builds because you're going to need a lot of the Covenant consumables for it, which we'll get to Covenants soon enough when we get to Firelink. Ah, this guy, just gazing out of the horizon. Very pretty, very pretty. Do you like being backstabbed? Yeah, probably not. Goodbye. That's why I love that weapon art. Well, that running attack, sorry. Haven't really used the weapon art yet. That's the weapon art. There we go. Some rouge water. So, as I said, in the going over burial gifts, just gives you FP. 50 FP. Pretty good for casters early on if you really need FP in a pinch, but trust me, with the FP region, you're not going to need that very often, even if you're just spamming spells. So, I'm going to head up here first. Grab this item. I'm fairly sure those two would aggro and vanilla, but for whatever reason here they don't, so they just kind of sit there. But that's 100 standard arrows, which is pretty good if you want to pick up a bow. So, free ammo. As you can see, the Uchi will just tear through these early mobs. I'll be switching out from it though when we get to High Wall. There's a much better weapon I'll be getting in Firelink. So, some charcoal pine, another fading soul. And then down here, some fire bombs. And a dog, conveniently. The only thing about the dogs in this game, they really don't like fire. Really didn't want to tangle with him. Don't want to deal with teleporting. And I think for that, I'm going to call it off here. Got a lot to talk about in Firelink, so don't want to make this video too long. Probably already over 30 minutes at this point. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.